We're just about at the middle of the month. We're talking about February, and I wanted to dive into some games that are standing out this month as some of the best ones to play on mobile that are also newer games. So let's dive into 10 games that you may not yet have tried that you can dive into right now that are really good. To start out today's list, we have Plants vs. Zombies 3. And the reason why I like this game is because it really does resemble Plants vs. Zombies 1. It's not some weird gameplay differentiating itself from the original game. It's more along lines and in the same row as what we already know and love from the Plants vs. Zombies IP. I absolutely loved Plants vs. Zombies 1, and 2 didn't cut it for me. But it really does seem like Plants vs. Zombies 3 is back to its roots and bringing us something that's extremely enjoyable, with a bunch of different plants that we can use to take down the incoming zombies and, of course, new zombies that we may not have encountered before. It's a refreshed version of Plants vs. Zombies 1 that I think is a ton of fun and a must-play for all tower defense fans. God's Raid Team Battle RPG. What we're looking at here, guys, is a new age, new style turn-based strategy game with a bunch of new characters that you could play as, upgrade, and progress as you go through the stages. Now, we are all very familiar with turn-based strategy. We know that Raid Shadow Legends is the leader in the genre, and it's actually one that I play on another YouTube channel called Echo Raid Shadow Legends. But here, we have something new and different, really spicing up the genre, giving us a different type of an experience. Era of Ash Dragon. This game is quite a bit different than many others that we see in the App Store. Here, you are playing as the dragon, and it's your job to completely destroy all of the villages and people that you encounter. The more destruction that you do, the more successful that you are inside of the game. So if you're into destruction and you really just want to take your time out and crush everything in your path, or in this case we should say burn everything in your path, this could be a good experience for you. It's a pretty mindless game where you just have to go in and destroy. That's about it. But at the same time, it's rewarding, it's fresh, and it's something different than we typically play here on the channel, or that you've probably played on your mobile devices. Last Sniper is next, and this one is not just another zombie game, it's a mature zombie game. It's actually asked or said that you should be 18 plus to play this one. Is it because of the blood, the gore, because of the fear that overcomes you when you go against these zombies? It's possible. Whatever it may be, it's always good to have a new zombie shooting game popping up on mobile. This one of the newest from anything that you'll find on the market, and it seems to be pretty precise. Notice it's called a sniper game, not a bullet hell game, so every bullet actually counts. Rumble Racing Star. I know you guys love those kart style games, you know, the racing games like Mario Kart. Well, here you could take it out to the farms, you could jump on your tractor, and you could race your way around the makeshift track that's in the back of your farm. It's a fun game, a fast game, and it's a casual take on a ring-style racing game. Now, of course, all of the games in this genre are pretty casual, but as I mentioned, this one does bring you into a different atmosphere. It's really a fun game to play, especially if you want to play with friends and try and take one another down. It's just another new take on a genre that has actually been very popular amongst many players over the years. Definitely a fun one that you could play with your friends or even get your kids into. I like it. Do you guys like tower defense games? And if so, what's the favorite one that you've ever played your entire life? Any platform. Let me know in the comments below. Asteris is a really new game in the RPG genre that has a beautiful take on the genre. Of course, we're looking at an anime themed game here that is going to take us into a new world that we've never explored before. If you like RPGs, if you like combat, and if you're into this style artwork, which in my opinion is quite nice, this is a game that is definitely worth you taking a peek at. Something brand new to the scene. Next up, we have Crisis X. Now, this is another one of those open world survival style zombie games where you're going to just need to test your luck in living it out in the open world. With it being a mobile game here, it's not with a ton of competition. Now, of course, there are other titles that you will have to choose between, but this one is one of the newer ones that's out there, and it's one that you might quite enjoy. Now, with these style games, you are, of course, going to have combat with the zombies and trying to survive, but it's also about survival and other methods as well. such as crafting, creating, foraging, and farming of your own. It's a game that's going to take you into another world where you're going to have to spend quite a bit of time to actually make sure that you survive. With lots of world to interact with your pets that follow you around, things that you could ride around in the world, and of course, enemies that are going to be sneaking up on you from every angle, like this skunk, you're going to have to find a way to make sure that your experience here is a good one. Again, a very time-consuming journey for you, which for many people is something that they're looking for. Cyber Realm. Here we have an MMO-style game where you are taken into a cyberpunk, futuristic-style world, with elements from dark fantasy to the new cyberpunk look that we're going to see inside of this game as well. It kind of blends two different worlds together, which is, in my opinion, quite nice in the overall atmosphere that you're going to be engaging with here. The characters are super fun looking with an anime-inspired theme. Again, all brought to us in that cyberpunk overall style. Having this be an open world, there's going to be tons of things for us to do and people for us to interact with. I think that this title is going to be a niche one. I don't think it's going to blow up and be anything insanely crazy, but I do also think that it's a fun experience. It's a good game that allows you to have some customization, some really nice combat mechanics, and take you into a realm that really hasn't been explored before, mixing dark fantasy and cyberpunk. I quite like it. If you're looking for a new mech battler style game, look no further. Armor Attack is here to fulfill your desires for that type of a game. Here you're going to be able to play as a mech and really battle it out against other mechs. Some of the things here that really stand out to me are, one, the gameplay, but two, the graphics. The game is quite nice looking with tons of different mechs that you could play as, making your experience vary from round to round. It's really a lot of fun, and the combat is actually quite a bit faster than you would expect it to be in a mech style game. I like this one, and although it's at the end of the list, it's one of my favorite ones, especially being that it doesn't have as much competition. There are only a handful of good mech games on the App Store, this being one that's coming to play and compete. Epic Apes MMO. Inside of this game, you are themed in skin to an ape, and you're in an open world where you need to survive, craft, and basically live your life. Now, is this a little bit gimmicky, just taking a genre that we've already seen and thrown an ape skin on it and made it a day? Possibly. But if you're someone that really likes this genre, maybe you'll enjoy it. We're definitely looking at a slower paced game here that's going to allow you to spend a lot of time crafting and theorizing how you want to survive versus combat and things of that nature. It is a decent game, not one that I would particularly choose myself, but one that many people are enjoying, so I figured it deserved a spot on today's list. And here you go, a little bit of combat for you. Looks like it's fairly straightforward. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on tomorrow's top 10 video.